Yo, it's the periodic table. Some elements react, others stay stable. Atoms in a row have the same number of shells, yo. The column same traits, the column stays straight. Wait, what? Atoms choose mates, like Na and Cl. Then they go and change states. They go in reactive, they bung it warm like wool. Come out cool, they chill, like they swimming in a pool. That's ionic, dick and all. Electrons, get it, y'all? I know this is confusing. Just listen to the music. The periodic table, it's a scientific chart. Periods and groups, is it science or art?
Rows and rows of organization, more organized than any nation.
Periodic table, it's a scientific chart. Periods and groups, is it science or art?
Rows and rows of organization, more organized than any nation. Some are more reactive, those like me, stable. They call me neon, I'm a noble gas. Full outer shell, not mixing with the riffraff. Not passing my electrons, not even to my brothers. My bro's different, his name's lithium. One electron to give away, and it ain't gonna stay. And he ain't here to play, he'll react any day, yeah. Don't want him mixing with water, he'll explode or make a spark. Either way, he'll leave a mark.
Periodic table, it's a scientific chart. Periods and groups, is it science or art?
Rows and rows of organization, more organized than any nation.
Periodic table, it's a scientific chart. Periods and groups, is it science or art?
Rows and rows of organization, more organized than any nation.
Squares hold with lithium in the group that gives you one. An alkali metal is here to have fun. He's like my homie chlorine, except that good old chlorine is feeling kinda poor. Needs just one more electron to become stable. He'd do anything to get it from the left side of the table. He's reactive, almost as much as sodium. When they mix together, you better stand back, 'cause when they react, expect a large.
What makes a different compound? Let me find the point. Electronegativity is how you get electrons. In the end, it all comes down to reactions. Yo, it's no new compound if the elements are the same, and elements only desire get a full electron shell.
One goes boom, the other's poison. When they mix together, they become a treatment for cancer. Elements for a good cause. Starting reactive, coming out stable. Now it's time for me to pause. Yo, periodic table, it's a scientific chart. Periods and groups, is it science or art?
Rows and rows of organization, more organized than any nation.
Periodic table, it's a scientific chart. Periods and groups, is it science or art?
Rows and rows of organization, more organized than any nation. Polar covalence, it's almost like ionic, less crystalline. The atoms aren't as greedy. Look at H2O. O gets most electrons, H and H are left with nothing. Yo, they're the doormat, slaves to oxygen, never stand up for themselves. You see, the difference 1.4, that's electroneg difference. That's polar covalent. Now it's time for me to go.
Nonpolar, the opposite of polar. You don't need to be a scholar to understand nonpolar. Yo, nonpolar is like oxygen, bonded with itself. No negative, no positive. It has no poles. Therefore, it is nonpolar. That's all I have to say. Cyborg out, yo. Periodic table, it's a scientific chart. Periods and groups, is it science or art?
Rows and rows of organization, more organized than any nation.
Periodic table, it's a scientific chart. Periods and groups, is it science or art?
Rows and rows of organization, more organized than any nation.
The periodic table, it's a scientific chart. Periods and groups, is it science or art?
Rows and rows of organization, more organized than any nation.
Periodic table, it's a scientific chart.
organized than any nation.